I've said this before, and I really mean it, that the Blob Brush is one of the best tools I think ever introduced to Illustrator, because it really changes how a creative person can create their artwork, and especially if you're like myself and you're a cartoonist, because you can just go ahead and ink your artwork at the same time as you pencil it or whatever. So I'm going to just give you a quick example by working with the tools the old-fashioned way. So I'm going to grab the brush. All right, this is the brush before we got the Blob Brush. And let's say that you wanted to create a cartoon character. So I'm going to just quickly draw out something, all right? Just something horrible. All right, I'll just go ahead and draw. I'll put a little smile. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and draw a little character's face. And I'll put some teeth in there. Okay, great. So this is our cartoon character. All right, so I expect my first place trophy anytime now. So, all right, so look at the difference here. I'm going to go to the View menu, and I'm going to choose Outline. And you see that we have all these different shapes, right? The problem is, I can click on any of them and move them, which means this is not a uniform piece of artwork, which could be a problem, especially if I'm doing some colors or that kind of thing. And if I go back to the brush, and let's say I want to add some hair and some ears, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and just keep going. Once again, these are not attached, and this can make my life pretty miserable. And if I want to fill this shape in, I can't because it's not really closed. It's not attached to the head. So I'm going to actually grab this and group it, and I'll resize it for now just to keep it as a comparison point. So we'll leave that guy right there. Now I'm going to grab the Blob Brush. All right, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to try to draw this same type of character over here. So I'm going to draw, all right, I'm going to draw the eyes, and I'll draw the mouth. I'll put the ears on, and we'll put that hair in. We'll go to View, and we see there's a difference already. Take a look at the difference in between the line quality, and you'll see right away we have something profound. Where we use the brush, we have simple inlines here. So we have a center line where we did our artwork, whereas over here we have some width lines. I'll grab my direct selection tool, and you'll see when I click on one of these points here, I can't change the thickness of any of these points. But on the Blob Brush version, I can modify the thickness on different parts of the artwork. So this gives me a lot of freedom. I can really create a nice thin and thick effect, and I can really control my artwork. Let's go back to View and Preview. See the difference? I can't really modify this at all, and I was able to do all this great stuff with the Blob Brush. Now, there's something else I can do with the Blob Brush that you can't do with this regular brush. Now, as you saw before, I was able to grab things and move them around. Well, I'll try to take this ear, and you'll notice that it's a closed shape, right? But it's not attached to the ear. But we can change that behavior with the Blob Brush options. If I double click on the Blob Brush, you see that I can merge with the selection. I can turn this off so that when I draw with the Blob Brush, let's go ahead and draw another one over here, and I try to grab it, it's attached to the artwork. So I can actually fill this in, whereas this would always move apart no matter what I did unless I grouped it. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk more about how to use the Blob Brush in the next part, and how we can actually color this artwork in, because you wouldn't be able to really color it the way you'd think by using the swatches and coloring in the inside of the artwork, as you can see here. So I'll go over that next.